is in the middle of the African Rift Valley system. It has dried out several times in its history, so Nile perch were originally not found here. However, in the late 1950s they were introduced to create an industry for the surrounding countries. And in just a few decades, they took over, outcompeting the native fish species and reaching enormous sizes, as they were without any real natural predators. This fish was apparently 340 pounds, but it was caught some 5 years ago, and the locals haven't seen anything as big since. However, with a lake covering 26,000 square miles, I reckon there could still be some giants that have stayed hidden. This is an inlet of Lake Victoria. Here they are actually catching Nile perch, and not just a few, I mean it's serious quantities. This boat is just full of just one after another. But none of them are the giants that I'm after. A quick chat reveals that this ice boat collects the fish netted by a fleet of some 30 small fishing vessels. This is fishing on an industrial scale. This boat's been out for 3 days apparently, and there's 3 to 4 tons of fish in here. Small fish. I've been invited behind closed factory doors to see the Nile perch industry in action. It provides thousands of jobs to the area, and it earns over $200 million in revenue every year. This is the reason truly giant Nile perch is so rare these days. So apparently there's about 10 to 12 tons of processed fish leaving this factory every day, which is just, a huge amount. I mean, quite mind-boggling, particularly when you consider it's a freshwater fish. Well, certainly impressive quantity of fish coming out of the lake. But one thing that really struck me is that the big ones just really few and far between. Just trying to do the maths, and I reckon I'd have to plough through something like 1,000 fish that size to have even half a chance of getting something half decent. So I'm going to have to try and find a place where they don't have such intensive commercial harvesting. I decide to head further up the Rift Valley to Ethiopia, as the fishing there is far from industrial. In fact, it's still conducted in much the same way that it has been for tens of thousands of years. And the Nile perch has always been the ultimate prize. Ethiopia is one of the oldest and richest cultures in the world. This is the birthplace of mankind, the home of Lucy, Hardy, and many of the so-called missing links. But there are also traces of the very first fishermen, here at the Ethiopian National Museum. I've been allowed access behind the scenes at the museum, and in this very room are some of the oldest human remains anywhere in the world. But what I'm looking at the moment are some of the earliest ever fishing implements. It's fairly clear that these were used for fish because in the same place were found remains of fish. We found a skull there. Just the skull was 3 foot long, so the whole fish, 7, 8 foot, something like that. So whoever was using these harpoons here could have been after some fairly interesting fish back then. I'm overwhelmed to be this close to the earliest tools of my trade. It turns out that this skull belonged to a giant Mputa or Nile perch. It looks like this modern-day monster has been a valued prize for thousands of years. The ancient Egyptians revered Nile perch for the amount of food they could provide. They even mummified these sacred fish and entombed them with their dead. It's no wonder there's a huge industry harvesting these fish today. But if I want to catch one, then I need to head to the spots that are hardest to reach, where the fishing is so dangerous that the locals won't even attempt it. Maybe here's where I'll find my giant.
These are the headwaters of the Blue Nile in Ethiopia. From here, this water will go a couple of 1,000 miles all the way to the Mediterranean.
There are 2 main branches of the Nile River. I started my search on the Ugandan White Nile, but this is the Blue Nile, and Nile perch are found along its entire length. These falls are known locally as Tissisat, which translates as the water that smokes. The mist has made these rocks incredibly incredibly slippery. If I fall into this swirling water, I can be swept downstream too fast to be rescued. There's definitely no commercial fishing here, so maybe at these falls I'll catch my monster. The internal organs of the Nile perch are vital to the production of which Western product? Is it A, beer, B, ice cream, or C, sugar-free gum? I ask, the internal organs of the Nile perch are vital to the production of which Western product? The answer is A, beer. The swim bladder of the Nile perch is still used in some parts of the world to filter out the yeast in beer. I'm in Ethiopia, trying to hook Africa's largest freshwater fish, the Alotttt or Nile